In the criminal justice system, sexually based offenses are considered especially heinous. In New York City, the dedicated detectives who investigate these vicious felonies are members of an elite squad known as the Special Victims Unit. These are their stories.
96th Street IRT.
Why?
Some guy molesting a dead body.
Oh, that is just terrific.
Whoever did this sliced off his cigar and took it with him. Is that specific enough?
Question. Who'd want to cut your penis off?
Take a number.
He was stabbed to death. His genitals were cut off.
Yes, so?
Vic was repeatedly stabbed with what we think is a claw hammer and raped with a wooden object. She is at present in a coma.
The best I can tell, this is the outfit she wore when she died. Bodily fluids in all the right places, hers and a man's. I sent semen traces out for DNA comparison.
She was penetrated, but we recovered no bodily fluids. Also, the kind of scarring and sexual injury this woman endured for years would send someone to prison, except for one thing.
It was self-inflicted.
Perhaps.
I picked up my underwear from the floor and I put it in his mouth.
That's how I went down.
He ejaculated on my stomach, and then he wiped it off with one of my shirts.
Bullshit. That is not how it went down.
Oral swabbing, fingernails, you combed her pubic hair, took vaginal swabs, and did blood work.
He said, "Is this the way you like it?" And he ejaculated on my stomach.
Bullshit. She told me to say that.
Ejaculated on her stomach that made her take a shower, so her DNA chances are
Slim.
if that.
Yeah.
Fucking bullshit, man. You just keep repeating her side of the story like it's the only side of the story.
What do we got? Dead victim, head bashed in, privates exposed. Tech found seminal fluid on the face, legs, and mouth, and we thought of you.
Do you think that there was a reason that the killer sodomized your husband with a banana?
It's kind of a long story. You got a minute?
He was allergic to bananas.
Achoo!
One thing. Did you put the banana in Andrew's rear end?
Yes. He is allergic to bananas. But if that killed him, it was an honest mistake.
So which shot came first, head or...
Genitals. Tremendous loss of blood. Well, there's semen, but don't get too excited. It could be an erotic release, a part of the body's natural death reflex.
No. Guy ejaculated on her thigh. I was a little horny, okay? What do you want me to lie?
DNA? The rape kit came up positive for semen. Sheets were positive for bodily fluids as well. It's a good sample.
It was just the smell of him. Just it reminded me of my dad.
Yes, they tell me to report sex crime here.
You're really gonna want to pay attention to this next one, and keep in mind that Itzhak Perlman is a very famous violinist. Pay attention to what she missed Itzhak Perlman for.
Hey! Excuse me, I'm busy.
Sorry, we just wanted to know where you were on the Gallagher girl.
I'm getting to it.
Here, we got 2 suspects. All we need is the DNA testing back.
Half my staff is out with the flu. I missed Itzhak Perlman last night to prep the semen sample personally, but PCR takes at least a week.
So, the Gallagher girl?
I took a gander in the electron microscope. Your doer sperm count is way, way low.
That's beautiful. Yeah, that's something.
How soon can we have that back?
Within an hour of getting your suspect's semen sample for comparison.
Getting that shouldn't be difficult from a couple of horny college students.
Thanks.
Great, thank you. See ya.
The Special Victims Unit. These are their stories.
She'd spread her legs for anybody, anywhere, anytime.
What do you want me to tell you?
That you put your foot on the gas instead of the brake.
Look, you've had the rape kit for days. Do we have to go over your head just to get things done?
Can't give you what I don't have.
Felicia, come on, help us out here. You know us.
Positive for spermicide, negative for semen.
So the rapist used a condom.
That wasn't so hard, was it?
Your victim only had one person's DNA inside her. She was dumped after she was stabbed.
Are you sure about that?
Did I stutter? Did we stutter?
Even without the blood on the rocks. It's his semen, her blood on his sheets. It's no problem.
I'm a Republican.
It's probably going in for a midnight snack and winds up getting stabbed in the chest and genitals instead.
It was I. Killed the old pawnbroker woman and her sister with an axe.
You raped me.
I was raped. End of conversation.
Rape kit done?
Just waiting to be vouchered. A lot of fluids. Good chance we got semen.
Fluids are present. Marked bruising to the thighs, pelvic, and vaginal areas. Handprint on the hip and upper right buttock.
Please tell me our perp's a secretor?
Definitely, and he left plenty of semen to type.
Or this one time he gave me body lotion. He told me to think of him when I used it.
Senseless. At least we got our perp.
Her condition?
Semi-conscious, no panties, smell of alcohol on her breath.
It wasn't above the legal limit, was it?
Oh my God.
Oh, man.
She was my first. A perfect little princess. Sweet as can be.
Fluids and bruising around the genitals.
Cause of death?
Manual strangulation.
Complete transection of the hymen at 5 o'clock. Entire introitus swollen and red.
He raped her.
The semen on the sheets from the Hotel Decameron came back as two distinct types. Look at the fingerprint pattern on the ashtray.
Our perp's a lefty.
They also found semen in both of the closets. So she had a partner in her little game.
Judging from the second semen stain, yes.
So he saves his damsel in distress from her would-be rapist, and then they have sex?
While the victim lays bleeding on the floor.
What kind of fantasy is that?
You shut up!
Couple's making love. She fights him a little bit, it excites her. He fights her back, it excites her even more. Turns out to be the best sex they ever had. Until the fantasy wears thin.
Mutilation pattern suggests she'd been penetrated by foreign objects, possibly a knife. All that before he blew her face off with a .44. Tag and bag as soon as the detectives are through. She's been out here long enough.
What's up, Doc?
Veronica Tandy, 34 years old, stabbed in the back, raped from behind.
Any fluids?
Not that I can see. We'll swab, hopefully find traces with the Luma. External examination found no traces of semen. Further testing showed spermicides usually found in condoms.
This is fun.
Also, I need you to walk those panties through the lab. Rush the DNA.
He derives excitement from stabbing women's flesh.
Genitals are mutilated, fluids present, definitely one for you.
What else?
Full thickness burns to 50% of her body, all post-mortem.
How can you tell?
Slit her throat to the spine and filleted her torso from neck to genitals. No way she survived that.
The guy had victim's blood on his coat. He must have gotten some on his hands. Munch.
Showtime. Man, it's everywhere.
I told her. I'm not a little boy anymore. She was a bitch.
Detectives, what do we got? Well, judging from the eye orbits, nasal opening, and cheekbone projection, I'd say a Caucasian. Surface of the auricular region puts her under 30.
Her. Did you find any clothes?
A few scraps. Most of the fabric decomposed. But look at the hips. Wide sciatic notch. Long pubic bone. Definitely female.
Cause of death?
No obvious knife marks or bullet holes. Hopefully I'll know more after I put it back together.
Looks like our bone lady was somebody's pet.
Figure out how she died yet? Strangulation. Pressure fractures to the hyoid.
It's the S&M theory. Autoerotic asphyxiation, but he mistimes it.
Don't know how he could have. There's a perimortem break in one of the metacarpals of her right hand.
So she put up a struggle. Now we're back to the sexual sadist.
What else we got?
Well, she was petite. I measured her femur. Estimate she was 5'4", and I think she was Eastern European.
You got that from the bones?
From her teeth. I found traces of arsenic. Using arsenic to kill a nerve is an old Russian dental practice that spread to most of the Eastern Bloc.
Great, so her dental records are somewhere in the former Soviet Union.
Maybe this will help. Henry's our forensic anthropologist. Show them what you came up with.
I entered the dimensions of the skull, put in tissue depth markers.
That's determined by age, right?
We figure she's around 30, so she'd have more facial tissue than, say, a 50-year-old.
Then what?
I fashioned the nose, ears, and mouth accordingly, and layer by layer got this.
The Special Victims Unit. These are their stories.
Hey, you guys looking for Tyler? The way he played second base was a crime.
Ay, Dios mío, madre de Dios. ¿Pero qué pasó aquí? Dios mío, aquí ha pasado algo malo.
Preacher's gonna start any minute. I don't want to miss the choir.
We just want to ask you a few questions about your girls, Ruth, then you can go inside and praise the Lord.
Amen.
And he raped her until she was 14. Maybe that evens things out.
All I know is it's clear. Go.
Well, did something fall out of there or not?
Go!
Number 5.
You're a bad mother.
It was like a harsher whisper, like throatier.
Number 5, repeat the line more from the throat, a little harsher.
You're a bad mother.
Number 5.
I'll pray for you.
Decay research detective. We study death to help law enforcement. Rates of decomp, cadaver insect symbiosis, geology, cadaverine and putrescine compounds.
We'll get out of your hair a lot faster if you'd wait in your office.
I married my own rapist.
I loved you. What does he do to hurt you?
He makes me pull down my pants. Please don't let him shoot my mom.
I'm arresting you.
For what?
Stealing sperm.
Describe your crime for the court.
I shot the 2 Jew kids and the porch monkey.
May you burn in hell, you racist.
Order. Madam, sit down or I'll have you removed.
That should do it. I'll let you know if we get DNA.
Ray still could have raped the girl at the bus station. And he could rape again.
We dangled some beautiful bait in front of his nose and he walked away.
But if she slipped me a roofie, how did I get it up?
The only explanation is a technique called electroejaculation.
I don't like the sound of that.
Nothing to it. Insert this end in the rectum. An electric shock causes an involuntary ejaculation.
Love used to be simpler. Damn, who thinks this stuff up?
Is your semen at Sarah Pollard as well?
Where the hell are you going with this, Frank?